Ryan Lochte's dancing while suspended. Tim Tebow gets a shot in a different league. And the Colin Kaepernick effect just keeps rippling. All this and more up next on Sports Weekly.
You are tuned into Black Hollywood Live, Sports Weekly.
No one girl can satisfy me.
This is my favorite song right now, you guys. This is my pick.
Remix, yeah, Raina.
Have you heard this remix?
Raina, you gotta do the wine, the Jamaica wine.
I can't really dance.
Can you not dance?
I don't believe that.
One of these shows, we're gonna make you dance.
I've seen you on Snapchat right now.
Okay.
I've seen you.
Learn something new.
Whatever.
Every
It's on my
Thursday
Snap.
night, Sports Weekly. We learned tonight already off jump that Raina can't
I
dance.
don't believe
Can't,
that
guys. I need some rhythm.
But you guys already do know that every Thursday night, Sports Weekly, your favorite squad. I'm Erica Renee Davis. You can find me on Snapchat, Periscope, I guess, Twitter, and on Insta Story at Erica Renee D.
Hey guys, I can sort of dance. I can do the grocery shopping dance, whatever that is. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Charlie L. Myers.
at all. Well, I don't dance. I just pull up my pants and do the rock away. But you can find me exactly. Find me, Joshua Johnson, on social media at JJ the Talented.
Hey guys, it's Raina. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Raina_LA. And shout out to all my Periscope followers for making Erica do 15 push-ups.
For sure did.
I had 5 followers, 5 loyal ones,
Right?
just, tuning
They don't
in.
have Facebook.
And then Erica did her
Facebook or
little.
Did my
Instagram.
push-ups.
Live killed Periscope.
As always, guys, follow all things Black Hollywood Live on BlackHollywoodLive.com. Follow us on Twitter at BHL Online and follow us on Instagram at The Sports Weekly. What's going on with the Instagram page, Charlie?
I know. I'm falling asleep on it.
Okay, it's okay.
People still have
That's
Instagram?
We gotta start Insta storying for my
Insta
Instagram.
That's true. That's
Right.
true. I'm falling asleep on it. I'll make sure to update it.
Okay.
Well, we got a jam-packed show today. So 2 weeks ago, Colin Kaepernick was a thing, and who knew that 2 weeks later it would still be a thing? But before we get into it, Josh, I'm going to let you introduce it because we have a special guest calling in to get on the hot seat with us.
Very, very, very special guest who has an opinion on Colin Kaepernick, actually. He's a U.S. Army veteran, a veteran of the Los Angeles Police Department, and now he spends his time as an elder in church, but I call him Dad. You guys can call him Mr. Johnson, but my father's on the line. Dad, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Hey.
Hey, Dad.
Hey. I like your show, and I particularly like your topic.
Okay, now, Dad, so Colin Kaepernick, of course, has been protesting for the past 2 weeks because he says that he does not want to stand and honor a flag that does not represent freedom for all Americans. And in the wake of him doing this, his jersey is now the top-selling jersey on NFL.com and on the 49ers website. He is now announcing that he's donating the jersey proceeds to in-need communities. But a lot of veterans are against. Josh, you want to?
Right, a lot of veterans are against, and we have some veterans for Kaepernick. But as a veteran, Dad, what is your opinion on Colin Kaepernick's stance or non-stance?
Well, actually, I'm for it, but I have a opinion regarding it. Now, as a Vietnam veteran and as a retired law enforcement officer, I respect his right. I serve to protect his right to the First Amendment to make his protest. And I think the way that he initially did it got everyone's attention. And it serves as you can see with the sales with the jersey and other people following the same, it has taken a specific and a decided effect. However, it's just like if a gentleman walks into the door, opens the door for a lady, or you go into the house and you take your hat off, or you go into, say, someone's mosque or their synagogue, you take your shoes off. It's just showing respect for everyone else. He doesn't have to continue kneeling down. He could just simply stand there. He doesn't have to salute. He doesn't have to cross his heart or anything like that. It's just showing respect for the other teammates that do have a different opinion. But I think the fact that he's made that statement now, he's being joined by other teammates and other people are agreeing with it. Now, as to the socks that he wore, as a former law enforcement officer, public officials cannot take issue with being called names or any kind of protest.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Johnson, so my thing, so you said that you didn't mind that he did it at first, but now you think it's time for him to stand and basically fall in line with everyone else on his team. But my question is this: oftentimes when there are heated social issues, and then when we riot or burn down our neighborhoods, everyone says, protest peacefully, don't burn down your neighborhoods, you're being a thug, you're acting like a gangster. But then when we make the decision to protest peacefully by sitting down or by kneeling down, it's like, no, stand up. No, you're protesting peacefully, but that's the wrong kind of protest. So what would be your advice? Because he sat down, and then on Military Day with the Chargers, he decided to kneel to show his reverence for the military, and now he's going to be sitting down again because now it's not obviously a military ceremony every game, and he's actually moving forward in action by donating the proceeds of his jersey to in-need communities. And the 49ers just announced today that they're donating $1 million to 2 different Bay Area communities that have a focus on social issues. So my question to you, going back to my original thought, is why do you think he needs to fall in line? Like, why do you think he needs to stop doing what he was doing?
Well, I don't mean that he needs to stop, but he made his point in his initial protest by kneeling down. But at this point, raising a controversy, he simply has to from now on, he simply has to stand. He doesn't have to cross his heart. He doesn't have to do a salute or anything like that. But just standing with the other teammates who do have a different opinion, who do want to show respect. That's all it is. In our Constitution, we're protected. We don't have to salute the flag. The military people have to do that, but we don't have to. Just simply standing.
Now, Dad,
but I agree. I agree. The fact that that the team and they're sending money to these different organizations, that's good. I salute that.
Yeah.
But don't you think that if he were to discontinue his protest, that we'd soon forget about this and that it would be out of the public eye, out of the public thought?
That's a point. However, he's made the point. The ball is rolling now, so he doesn't have to continue. It doesn't have to be so controversial now because he's already made this point. So that's what I'm saying. It's just that, it could go on. It could get even, it could even be even more. It could be seen as being disrespectful in other words, in other ways.
I think I can't say most, that's a blanket statement. A lot of people already, Mr. Johnson, see it as being disrespectful. As a matter of fact, the owner of the Washington Spirit soccer team decided to, because one of his players, Megan Rapinoe, had protested because she said she stood in solidarity with Colin Kaepernick as a gay female in America, as an athlete. She was kneeling, and so they were like, we're going to get you. So they played the national anthem before the teams even came out onto the field. So obviously, a lot of people do not agree with this kind of protest. But my question to you as a military veteran and as a law enforcement official, why has the essence of this protest been, harkened back to military and veterans, when essentially the flag is supposed to stand for freedom for all, not just for military, not just for professional athletes, not just for white people, not just for women. The flag is a symbol of you do what you want to do as long as you're not hurting people. Why have we so focused our attention on veterans' rights?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, see, the veterans, our military people, are obligated to salute the flag. So that makes a difference. Whereas civilians don't have that obligation, but they only do in respect. They cross their heart or they stand for the national anthem. And that's something they're not required to do that. That's just it's a kind of a social, cultural thing that we do as Americans. But it is our right, according to the Constitution, the Second Amendment. We have free speech. We can do it, but we just can't. We shouldn't do it in a way that shows disrespect. That's my point. Well, yeah, is that we do it in a way. But I think that the point has been made, and it's snowballing, and a lot of people are seeing it. A lot of people are standing up for that.
That you make a really good point. Hi, Mr. Johnson. This is Charlie speaking. I want to thank you first for coming on the show.
And for your service.
Yeah, yes. And for your service. Thank you very much. My question to you is, do you think it would be such a big deal if it was another player, say, for instance, a white gentleman that was sitting down? I feel like there's a lot of press because this gentleman is African-American, and there was something that happened last week where somebody didn't even know that he was mixed. And I feel like it shouldn't even be on point of conversation. It shouldn't be if you're black, white, blue, whatever. It should just be what you stand for. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Of course, it would make a difference. If he were white, it wouldn't be so big of an issue. Case in point, the two flags, the American flag and also the Confederate flag. You see the issue there. And why the fact that the Confederate flag is still flying in some of the southern states it's an insult to our country. It's an insult to the American flag because it doesn't represent our country. It's a symbol of something that's gone. It's a symbol of racism, segregation, and it shouldn't be. So yes, there is a difference there. So I think that now that everything is he's gotten everyone's attention. I still salute what he did initially in protest, but I think at this point he should just stand in solidarity with the rest of his players, and they'll get the point. And pretty soon you'll see them all not saluting or not crossing their hearts, and maybe they'll all kneel down at some point.
I think that'll happen if he continues his protest. I don't think if he stops that they'll all of a sudden just pick up where he left off and continue the protest. But to answer Erica's question, I think the reason that so often, like in this situation where it went so quickly to talking about veterans, is the fact that we can quickly pull on America's heartstrings if we talk about veterans and
absolutely.
get them, in the conversation. Because thinking about war and veterans and patriotism does, pull people. It gravitates toward the people feeling sorry and that kind of thing, or patriotic, or touches the heart. Is what I'm trying to say.
I did have one more question for you. I know you probably have a lot of veteran friends that have served our country, and I know your views as of right now. Do you know their views on this particular stance and how they feel?
It's mixed, and a lot of veterans patriotism is like it's a misunderstood thing. A lot of veterans, they're in there for the reason they're joining the crowd, they're following the crowd, and then you have the ones who are overzealous. The ones that really protest are the ones that are overzealous. They don't understand what they're standing for. If they really explain why we're fighting for this, why we're standing up for this, it would make a difference. But in the military, first of all, you're told this is what we do. This is what we've always done, and so there you have it. But if they were told that, according to the Constitution, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, or the other, it wowould make a difference. So you see that veterans they're adamant about it. They get insulted when they see things like this happen because they don't know. It's the ignorance that's there. They misunderstand it.
Very good point.
And Mr. Johnson, not that. I mean, I think, I know you and I disagree because I think that Colin Kaepernick should continue his protest. But when you were talking about people being ignorant, we were talking before the show, Francis Scott Key, the man who penned the national anthem, he and his family were slave owners, and he was a staunch anti-abolitionist. And just to give you some background, people out there listening, the second half of the third verse of the national anthem, which has been omitted, says, "No refuge could save the hireling and the slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave." So he was writing that to talk about how black slaves at the time were trying to flee to join the British Army so they could get freedom, so they could fight against the forces that were trying to keep them enslaved. So I just think it's really interesting that we're fighting so hard, we meaning people who disagree with Colin Kaepernick, we're fighting so hard to make him stand up for something that is patriotic, when in essence the author of the national anthem was an advocate of keeping blacks enslaved. So just to give people out there listening a little bit of information on why you're so mad at Colin Kaepernick, just remember that he is the kind of person that the author of the national anthem was trying to keep in bondage, essentially.
Yes, you make a good point there, and I agree there. And as our nation has evolved, it's high time that they realize this is something that's always going to plague us, and it shouldn't. Racism is going to be something that's going to, if we don't eradicate it, if we don't take a strong position on it, it's going to always be with us, and it's going to tear this nation apart. So I agree with you there. But no, he shouldn't stop his protest. It's just my opinion that that's not the way I would do it. I wouldn't kneel down. I would just stand there in silence. That's all. But I agree, he should continue his protest. He has that right.
Any other thoughts from Mr. Johnson? For Dad, before we let you go? Thank you
Okay.
again, Mr. Johnson, for your
Thank you.
service
Thank
as a
you.
military man and also as LAPD, retired former LAPD. We appreciate you calling in and giving us your insight on the Colin Kaepernick protest. Thank you.
Yes,
All right,
thank you
thanks,
very
Dad.
much.
Thank you so much.
Be sure and hang up so we don't hear back.
Right? Yeah, I mean,
cool.
That was good.
yeah, thank you, Josh, for having your dad call
Yeah,
in.
that was really
It was
cool.
good to hear somebody's insight from,
Yeah.
you know.
Especially an older person too, because you get on Twitter and last week it was trending Veterans for Kaepernick, and of
Right.
course social media is targeted more towards millennials and younger,
Right.
the younger demo. So you don't have somebody 60 years old on there particularly being as fervent as we have been on social media. So it's good to hear his perspective. Although I disagree with your dad.
Yeah, it's a tough story to talk about because I know we were talking about last week. I was on the other end of the spectrum 2 weeks ago. I was like, well, why is he doing this? This is for our country, but it's bigger than that. And I realized that this is a movement that we need to move towards to make other people realize what's going on in our country. And Colin Kaepernick is the person for that.
Not only that, but he's putting his money where his
He
mouth
is.
is.
He
The
really
fact that
is.
he's donating the jersey sales. I didn't even know that the athletes get a percentage
of the jersey
jersey
sales,
sales.
yeah.
That's awesome. But the fact that he's not keeping that, he's going to donate that.
My sister made a really good point today. She said, of course, him sitting down and kneeling down and other athletes following suit is just a huge step towards bringing attention to social injustices. But what if every professional athlete or every black athlete said, we're not playing this season. We're not playing basketball this season.
I'm saying, like, what if it got
We're not
to
playing
that?
football this season unless there's a huge overhaul of sweeping changes made in our police forces. And granted, that's a very overly ambitious way to
Right.
think. It probably would never happen. But what if every black athlete said, we're not playing?
I feel that, but I feel like there would also have to be a definite goal in mind, and not just to say we're standing for injustice, we're not playing for injustice, but what exactly do we want to see?
The goal, like in my my little fantasy mind, would be that they would not play for a season while our government and every police force in this country gave sensitivity training and literally overhauled
Totally agree.
every police force to make sure that their IQs were on par, to make sure that that policemen are trained. We can say, I've trained you not to shoot to kill, I've trained you to de-escalate but not to kill at will. And again, I mean, that would be a utopian society. It would never happen.
Yeah.
But what if?
That would be
Yeah.
interesting.
Or what if even not to go so as far as to not play, but what if they just, everyone, at least black, did kneel or separate themselves during the national anthem? That would be a huge statement in itself.
True, but not playing big money corporations.
I'm saying
they-
not
they would
playing.
be like,
Yeah.
Not playing.
advertisers would be
Yeah.
like, wait a second,
Yeah,
wait a
Hey,
second.
things would start happening.
Yeah.
And my worry with that, and if it did happen, people know how to be fake. I feel like these police officers, the people that are doing this, they could probably have their spotlight on them. They say, "I love African Americans. I love everyone."
Right.
And then as soon as they get back in the street, they're going to be like, "You
Yeah.
N-word."
Yeah.
That's my
True.
worry.
That's true.
But yeah, and along with what you're saying, Charlie, at some point, what if? Because we don't want to see cops targeted. We don't want to see.
And we don't want to see
we
black
don't
and
wanna
brown
see
men targeted either.
Unarmed black men targeted for sure.
Let's be clear.
But could you imagine? Oh, come on, you know that. But could you imagine though what kind of craziness there would be if there were wars in the streets, between cops and civilians, and then all hell would break. I'm just thinking. I don't know.
Just like the Dallas.
That would be crazy.
Oh yeah,
I just
yeah.
think that would.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tough story.
it is.
Do we want to cover the others? Do we cover everything? With that?
I think.
Wait, we did.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm going to say about it is, and I said it last week, I wish it was somebody else. I know that Colin Kaepernick
Tom
is...
Brady?
Yeah, I wish it was somebody more in the limelight because Colin Kaepernick is not the starting quarterback for the 49ers. I understand that it has nothing to do with that, and it has nothing to do with sports. But I wish, just in my mind, I feel like it would be a bigger influence on other people if it was somebody
Like
in
if
the
it was
spotlight.
Cam Newton or if it
Exactly.
was Cam would do that.
They would crucify Cam.
See, I think Colin's a
Okay,
perfect
what about-
person though because he's biracial. Because now
He's 3 years too
normally
late.
we call him black, but now all of a sudden Colin Kaepernick is biracial. He wasn't raised, in poverty. He was not raised in squalor. He came from upper middle class family. He has 2 white parents, so it's like the perfect storm. Like I see what you're saying is him as far as him not being like a popular athlete. But he's like the prototypical American success story, but yet he's still standing up for something that he never probably even personally experienced. No. Cam Newton's a dark-skinned black guy from Atlanta. He probably got tailed by the cops from the time he turned 13. Colin Kaepernick lived in Arizona and didn't have those experiences. So for those reasons, I think he's a perfect person to do this.
That's where we disagree, but what can we do?
I heard Tom Brady is sitting out the first couple games in solidarity.
The first 4 games.
In solidarity to this cause.
Dang. That's what he's doing.
Anyway, moving on to, maybe this guy should sit out. Or,
Please
I heard he stopped swimming for this cause.
Oh, God.
Ryan Lochte, the infamous Liegate.
Liegate.
Basically, you know what he did. He told a lie in Rio. And he seemingly got rewarded for it by getting a gig with Dancing with the Stars. But that's where everybody goes to kind of rehab their
Is it rehab though?
I feel like some people go there to rehab their persona.
Dancing with the Stars just isn't the same anymore. There's like anybody on it.
Yeah.
I think Amber Rose is on it this year.
Yeah, she.
I'll let you say what you're going to say, but I have a reasoning behind why he went, or Dancing with the Stars sought him out. But go ahead.
But for ratings, it's probably one of them is a big part.
Yeah.
But I think we have other celebrities who go there to rehab their persona. But this guy recently, as of yesterday, the U.S. Olympic Committee, Team USA Swimming has suspended him for 10 months. He'll miss the nationals.
The 2017 World Championships in Budapest.
National championships and subsequently the World Championships. They cut his monthly funding. Olympians get a funding. They cut his access to practice in Olympic facilities. What else did they cut? They cut.
He loses $100,000.
He forfeits his gold medal bonuses. He won gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in relays in like team sport.
Yeah, not single individual.
No individual.
Okay. So he loses all that, but at the same time, he's making money on Dancing with the Stars. So does it really affect him at all?
No.
What do you think he feels?
I think the only
care?
thing that he's losing is his endorsements, to be honest, and all of
That's
that.
big, though.
That's big, but I mean, I just can't believe that he just got Dancing with the Stars after all of this. Like I don't agree.
Charlie
with
can
that.
believe it.
I can because we live in, I hate to say this, but back to the racism thing. We live in a white America, and people want to see drama in their little stupid show, and so they're wanting this person on there that has caused a controversy. Oh my goodness! And he's not scary by any means. He's stupid in interviews, so that's going to be entertaining to watch. And they're going to make lots of money for people watching the show. He is one of the. I don't know the lineup, but he seems like he's the only celebrity that's relevant.
Was it Babyface is on there?
Not relevant.
I don't even know. I can't even lie, y'all. This is the 23rd season of Dance with the Stars.
I've never watched a season.
Who is still watching Dancing with the Stars? Y'all, who's still watching? My regards to the panel at AfterBuzz who covers Dancing with the Stars. But y'all, who is still watching Dancing with the Stars?
I feel like my mama is.
Is she?
Yeah, I feel like the baby
You know
boomers
what?
are.
I
Same
think
people
my
watch
mom
Bachelor
is.
and Bachelorette.
Yeah.
True. Good point. I don't think this is going to have an adverse effect on his
Calvin
swimming
Johnson
career.
Jr.
Oh, is he?
Oh, okay. Amber Rose,
Amber
Jake
Rose.
T. Austin, don't know who that is. James Hinchcliffe, Jenna Kramer,
Who?
Babyface.
Babyface.
Lori Hernandez.
Lori
That's
Hernandez.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The little
Rick Perry.
the
singer?
the politician, the one from Texas.
Oh, from Texas.
Yeah.
Ryan Lochte, of course. Tara Jolie, Vanilla Ice.
Yeah. Now, if you are on a television show with Vanilla Ice, you know your career is.
Done.
You know you has been. Well, I mean, we're 4 years out from the next Olympics. I think his career will be okay, especially because he didn't really excel in individual events this year anyway. So he'll just go back
now
and
that
pick.
Michael Phelps is gone.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
He might
No,
have a
I mean,
chance.
even with that, he was fifth in his individual race.
Yeah,
So that's not good. I mean, in the world standpoint, that's awesome. But to him, when he won silver and gold in the last Olympics, the thing that bugs me the most with him is that he has no remorse for what he did. His apology was not an apology. He apologized on Twitter. He didn't come across and say, "I'm sorry, I screwed up. I didn't mean what I said. This is what I meant." It would still come across not sincere, but at least he's trying. He's not even trying.
he's not trying. I mean,
He doesn't care.
he doesn't care.
Like Johnny Manziel, he doesn't care.
Johnny, that's your boy right now.
Oh,
Johnny, that's your
God.
boy. Yeah,
Johnny.
I don't really have any other words to say except that he's like the ultimate douchebag.
Yeah.
Ryan Lochte is, but I think this will enhance his reality stardom.
I think I'm gonna dye my hair like his.
Blonde.
Please don't,
Please
Charlie.
don't
Do it.
Do the frosted
Please
tips.
don't.
Do like
Don't.
the NSYNC
Do
thing.
it.
Don't
Do
do
it.
that.
Do it.
Hey, Lance.
Speaking about a white boy,
Douchebag.
We have the best segues.
I gotta think of mine.
Tim Tebow. He proved me
What you mean,
wrong.
Tony Tebow?
Tony Tebow.
Tony Tebow. He proved me wrong. He got signed to the Mets.
He looks
I
good.
tried to told you.
He looks good.
I tell you, Johnny. This guy's gonna get signed. He's a baseball player.
That nigga
man.
He's
Yeah.
not even close. So
Dude has. Does he have breasts?
No,
No,
he does
those
not
are
have.
I mean,
He's-
like
he's very
firm pecs.
physically
Physically
fit.
nice.
Very physically fit.
I have a little rant about this. So I feel like I always have a rant, but
Let the man follow his dreams.
No.
It is his dream. So this is his passion.
So okay, he's gonna go into this training club, and they're going to finesse his weaknesses. But with the people that have been playing their whole entire life, they're trying to make it in the major leagues, and you see Tim Tebow walk through the door. That is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I get it. He's an athlete. He's trying to make a name for himself because he didn't do well in the football league. But you're not going to do well in the Major League Baseball. He couldn't throw it from outfield all the way to home. He has a terrible arm. He should have a good arm.
Right.
It looks good to me.
Oh God, give me a break.
The arm looks just
Arm
fine.
looks
But I mean, what impact does this do for Tim Tebow? Is this a good thing for him?
Great.
well for him. It's his passion, but I have to agree with you. Like that would piss me off if somebody is getting my spot and is terrible. I'm obviously better than them,
Yeah.
and they walk up in here because of who I am, who they are,
Money.
and the money. But I mean, I think he looks very nice in baseball uniform.
Oh,
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are good, I mean, you won't have any problem with it.
but he's not good.
No, but if,
Like if you're like the next up, good.
But then, so you're saying that it's a marketing ploy.
Yeah, they're definitely
yeah.
the Mets.
It's the Mets farm team, right?
Yeah, so the Mets are in. I don't know if you guys are keeping up with it, but the Mets are in contention. They are very close to make it into the postseason, and I feel like there's a lot of holes within their team, and they are doing this to keep their eye off of the team that they have right now. They're like, oh, watch the shiny thing, and don't watch the actual. It's sad that we're talking about this over postseason, over National Football League starting.
Well, you
He's
know,
not playing for the Nets,
Let
though,
me
or
say
the
this. I
Mets.
disagree. Well, it would piss me off if I was actually the person on the team who deserved to be
Right.
in his spot. But from a marketing standpoint, we talked about it last season. Baseball is not great. Like what Bryce Harper says, make baseball great again. And baseball is the one of the major four that is like the attendance is low, and it's a snooze fest. And you know, and granted, I understand that baseball is a thinking man's game, but we live in a YouTube 15-second, 1 minute, long society, and it's not exciting to watch. But you put this sexy, athlete who was a Heisman winner, who was a 2-time BCS champion, who was an NFL analyst, who was a college analyst, who played for the Broncos, for the Patriots, for the Jets, for the Eagles. You put him in this environment, and now all of a sudden people want to talk baseball. And I think big picture, it is bringing some much needed attention to a sport that most people don't even really give a flip about anymore.
So you're telling me if he doesn't make it into baseball, he's going to try out for basketball, and we're going to all pay attention to basketball?
I mean, I think he knows better
I
than
think,
that.
yeah.
Well, I don't think people are going to
Embarrassing
care
stuff.
about Tim Tebow. If you don't think he's going to make the Mets,
He's not even
No.
close. I do have to say this.
Is anyone
I'm
really
gonna.
going to care that much about? They didn't care that much about him in football.
I just want to ask you: do you think he can get any better? Or
He can get better. He has the drive. I do commend Tim Tebow because he does have the drive to become a better player. You can see it in his eyes. You saw it in the tryouts. He was actually trying to do well. He did not do well, but he's trying to do well. I feel like the Mets have the organization, have the tools to make him better. But he's 29, you guys. He has maybe 3 years to make it into the major leagues, and it's not going to happen overnight. He hasn't played since he was in high
It
school.
might surprise you, Charlie.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know. Once an athlete, you work so hard. We'll see.
He knows what it takes to be a
See.
professional athlete.
Right, and to
The commitment and dedication it takes.
So
I
Josh,
agree.
are you going to buy his jersey?
No.
No.
We'll see. I hope he proves me wrong, but I don't see him
You don't hope he.
I think it's a good
You don't
circus.
want him in there.
I think it's a good circus for baseball. Honestly,
What's a good highlight for baseball? Like, what would be something that people want to watch? What can happen in baseball that's a good highlight?
So there was an inside the park home run by a rookie for Atlanta.
I'm already. What's the next time?
Goddamn.
I like home runs.
a clearing out of the dugging,
Yeah.
the dugging, clearing out of right. When the dugouts clear out for fights.
And I get it. I get it.
Fights are
Like
good.
an in the park home run. It doesn't go over the wall. He makes it all the way around. I mean, it's.
I get it.
I think it's more exciting when you're actually there at the game, though.
Yes.
I had so much fun at the Dodger game. It helped having a beer.
Home runs are
A
exciting.
$12 beer.
That's only had one.
You know what I enjoyed? Remember that game the Dodgers hit 4 in a row to win the game, Garcia Parra?
Yep.
I was there. That was exciting. Other than that, meh.
And I feel like I defend myself every single time. It's one of those things that it's
It's
just
okay,
like
I feel that way with women's basketball.
See, I have my tunnel vision, and yeah, side
The
note.
Sparks
I
are
would
number
rather
one in their
watch
league
women's
right now.
basketball than baseball.
You rather watch women's basketball than
Women's
baseball?
basketball?
I would.
Oh, okay.
I love basketball.
The Sparks are
I
number
would.
No.
one in the conference right now.
Who knows that
WNBA.
though?
Me?
I love watching the game.
No, I'd watch
I
a
would.
19-inning baseball game.
You would not.
The women's basketball?
Yes, I would.
No, you would not.
How dare
I'm
you?
telling you, there's no way. Yo,
These girls can play.
Yeah, I would rather watch women's basketball.
Minnesota Lynx and the Sparks played on Tuesday night.
yeah.
Game. My friend
In the
Chelsea
playoffs.
Gray had 20 points, by the way, season high. She was on our show.
What's up, Chelsea?
The playoffs
Chelsea.
are around the corner,
Sorry.
right? The playoffs are around the corner.
Yeah, playoffs are around the corner. We're gonna find out who is officially going in at the end of this month.
Dodgers are 4.5 games up. I do know that.
They're not gonna do anything. But don't worry
WNBA
about
playoffs are also around the
Hater.
corner.
WNBA playoffs are around the corner.
Are also around the corner.
I
Yes.
thought they finished playing in like July.
No, they had they had an Olympic break. They had an
Oh, they
Olympic
come
break.
back and start the season over.
It's in the middle of their season, Erica. And all
They
of
gotta
the,
take a break so that
They
their
had to
players can
take-
go play. Wait, hocky does that, I think, too, for the Olympics, right?
baseball
winter,
would have done
yeah.
that too if we had a baseball
no,
team.
they're not. That's another topic
Yeah.
for another
They
day.
would, they would send college players, wouldn't they?
Yes, and
Oh, that's
Amateur,
right. That's right. We
right.
did talk
What
about
happened
that.
to all amateurs being in the Olympics? That was the original point of the Olympics, was to have amateur athletes.
Right. Well, speaking of professional athletes,
Oh,
let's talk about some football. DraftKings. No, DraftKings.
DraftKings.
Yes.
DraftKings.
Football season's finally here, guys. There's a game on right now that we're missing because we're here with you. Can we get a score update?
Let's take a look.
And it's time
Go
to put
Panthers.
your fantasy knowledge to the test. Guys, you can share in a $100,000 prize, okay? Every week, DraftKings has a free 1-week contest, and we're very excited about it. Are you guys excited about it? You guys
Yes.
doing DraftKings
Oh,
this
yeah.
year?
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm on it.
Super excited. Okay, so guys, 1 week fantasy means absolutely no commitment. So you can just say, oh, I'm going to play this week. I'm not going to play this week. I'm going to play this week. This week I'm going to play whatever. You get the point. All you have to do is pick your contest and draft your players, and then you can follow your team live, and you can renew your old rivalries with your friends and with your family, and you can prove that you are the superior GM. How do you do this? Guys, you want to know how you do this? Yes, you do.
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay. I just spit all over my microphone. You have to hurry to DraftKings.com right now and use the promo code BSports because B stands for Black, as in Black Hollywood Live. So use the promo code
Why you gotta say it like
BSports.
that? Black.
But you know what's funny? We say B Sports instead. Why not AA Sports, like African American sports?
There we go.
I like black better. Use the code B Sports and play for free in this weekend's $100,000 fantasy contest. Okay, DraftKings.com. Promo code B Sports. We sent you a Black Hollywood Live Sports Weekly. DraftKings.com.
Update on the game. It is 17-7. The Panthers.
17-7. Yeah, Panthers. Who's for the Panthers on this table?
I hope they both lose.
Why?
Charlie.
Charlie.
It's not baseball.
It would mean more if it was the same Broncos from last year.
People keep saying that. I mean, whatever. It's still a rematch.
I wanted them to win last year.
Who, the Panthers?
Yeah.
Me too. But people are saying that this is not like a true
'Cause it's
Super Bowl
news
rematch
fast.
because it's a new quarterback and a. Well, it's a rematch as a Super Bowl teams, whatever.
Okay. Well, since we're still on the topic of football, and we're going to talk about my man Johnny.
Ooh,
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny.
This time he's actually in the blogs and the news for something positive. He's going back to school. He enrolled in some classes at Texas A&M, and he starts in the fall. Guys, do you think this is a good move for Johnny?
Yes.
No.
He
No. I was never
Okay.
a Van Wilder. I think Johnny Manziel is a career partier. So this guy is going back he's that
to go
old guy
back
on campus who's gonna keep going back to these
funny.
parties. He's gonna try to pick up on some new freshmen. This guy is not serious. He can't be serious.
No.
Why? What is he studying? Did you say?
Oh yes, I had it. Hold on. Go ahead, continue talking. I had it.
I don't think he's serious.
I mean, he might not be serious, but it's a good effort. I mean, that's like saying that. I mean, there are things that I'm sure each of us have done in our lives that we might not have been completely committed to, but our parents made us do it because it was the right thing to do, and optically it made sense. You can't hate that man for going back to school. He's making the right PR move.
I think it's a waste of a admission seat. I think there's a deserving person out there
Get outta
somewhere
here.
who deserves to have that registration.
Well, first
in
of all,
class.
he's not even going to class. So let's make
Exactly.
Wait, Manziel is enrolled for the fall semester in the university's Recreation, Parks, and Tourism Sciences program.
Oh,
that's-
give me a break.
That is
I mean,
straight from
not to belittle
CNN.com.
those who are really seriously
That is
in that
straight from
program.
CNN.
Don't do it.
So basically, he's going back for Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Tourism Sciences program.
Okay.
Straight from CNN.com.
Exactly. So he can. Yeah.
To be relevant, I think they need to get a doctorate. That's about it. As soon as he gets that doctorate, then I'll start talking about it.
But we did talk about him
Yo.
before, and we're saying maybe therapy would be a better
Therapy?
idea.
Maybe he can do both. Maybe he can be enrolled in school and party and go to therapy.
Maybe he just wants
don't-
financial aid money.
He's please.
Is he going broke?
No, he's an oil baby. He's
Remember
an
those
oil
checks?
baby. He's
But
a
they
baby.
Talk
checks?
about that.
He comes from oils.
Salome.
Maybe the
I don't know. I feel like this is a good move for him.
I do too right now. I'm
I
with
think
you.
that maybe. I mean, he has to try something. I mean,
Let's
just
try
go
for
ahead, go back to
baseball.
school.
Johnny Baseball.
Oh, Johnny Baseball. That may be
do you
his
think,
next
Jeff?
move.
Maybe basketball. I see him doing
No,
basketball.
he would no.
That's funny. When I was in college, Champ Bailey would come and
Did he hit on you?
Champ Bailey. No,
He didn't.
no.
She lying.
What, you see it in her face?
I see it in her face.
Champ Bailey would come to school in the spring semester and take classes, and I remember that stuck with me because I was I was impressed that he, after he made a name for himself as a cornerback in the NFL for so many years, was still coming back to finish his degree. And so I encourage all athletes, no matter what kind of success you have in the league or whatever.
That brings up another point because a lot of, I guess basketball players, I'm not sure how it is in football, but they leave college early to enter for the draft.
Football team.
And I don't know, that always kind of stuck with me because I'm thinking, like, what are you going to do if basketball, say you get hurt, season-ending injury, well, you don't have nothing to fall back on,
only baseball.
So is that...
Oh, it's baseball.
I can't.
You know what? For real though, like baseball seems like the easiest of the professional sports to make.
See, I don't
To make it?
There's so many spots.
Oh, why are you making
I
it?
disagree
Why
with
are you?
that,
There's
Josh.
so many
I
spots
disagree
open.
with that.
You having fighting
I feel like-
words?
You
I
have
feel
so
like-
many.
I
You
disagree.
have the league, right?
I feel like
you have the
football
show,
would
the
be
MLB.
easier to get into than baseball.
Then you have all these other teams that you can work your way
I
up.
like
No.
you. Why you gotta do this?
Why you gotta do this?
Football is
Why you
a lot
gotta do this?
Basketball, there's not a lot of open spots.
Basketball for sure isn't, but
not- if you can't-
football,
you're not good
I
enough to
think
make-
it's football is way easier to get into than baseball because you have to actually hit. You have to
But
actually
there's
throw.
no minor league football. If you don't make the 53, 59,
53 man.
3,
Yeah.
then you don't make it. But baseball, if you don't make the big show,
You make
you've got
the
all these
double,
Also,
triple.
isn't there
double,
like
single, double, triple A.
different? Isn't there like different under
Yeah,
the
the-
arena football or something or like
arena,
different?
they have
But that's
XFL,
not like a minor
it's not
league.
CFL.
Development league. That's not any kind of development like baseball has. Not a dig at you, Charlie. Don't
All
take
right.
it personally.
All right,
It was
I
just my own
understand.
opinion.
I understand. Don't like baseball. I get it. I get it.
I do.
I get it.
I like that. Okay, well, we're moving on.
Well,
from-
Johnny, congratulations, Johnny, for going back to school.
Get that doctorate. We'll talk about
Go
it.
do it.
Get your grades up.
Moving on from Johnny football to college football, for real college football. I want to ask you guys really quickly: are these teams a real deal, or is it too early to tell? So,
How did we do from last week? Do you have our predictions?
yeah, this in this folder. But I don't feel like getting that right now. But I know I was 2 and 2. I don't know. That's all I know.
I was that. I have to apologize.
What?
I have to apologize
Yeah,
to you, Erica.
this mother
So
was talking trash to me.
I was watching the game doing
On Twitter,
laundry,
yes.
and
On the
Or
group
on the group text, yeah.
and I decided to be a troll and say, hey, are you mad? And that was
Because
like
we were down by
yeah.
like 7 points or whatever.
Yeah, and they definitely came.
And
You gotta wait till more than 7.
my fault.
But it was like the
My
third
fault.
quarter, and I was like, I know I'm not mad because football, as you probably obviously didn't know, is a game of 4 quarters, and I'm just chilling with my
Baseball players. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I had to. Sorry.
just chilling with my drink, trying not to say any foul language on the group text.
Well, again, I apologize.
It's okay.
I can't promise you that I'm not going to say any shit later, but
I'll convert you. You'll be a dog fan before the
Go
season's
Dogs,
up.
go!
Go Dogs, sick
Who did they
Oh,
play?
sorry.
Go Dogs, sick
you tried.
Oh,
UNC.
You halfway there.
UNC.
UNC, Charlie? They can beat UNC.
I mean, but UNC had one of the most dangerous offenses last season. Last season, and they were ranked pretty high.
They were doing pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good game. Whatever. Are these teams that? Well, these were some upsets last week. University of Houston upset Bob Stoops' Sooners. Was their win last week in a statement for not just non-Power 5 teams, but for their season as a whole? I know a lot of you guys don't follow. You're looking at me.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Sorry. I didn't mean.
I'm lost.
I was like
Okay.
reading something.
We're talking about baseball. What's going on?
Exactly. We're talking about WNBA.
Oh, got it.
WNBA. Okay, so let's just break it down really quickly. So University of Houston was not expected to beat Oklahoma, but they did. What 33 to whatever it was. I don't know, 23. I don't know where it is. Anyway, the Cougars are trying to get into the Big 12. And so not only was that game a statement for them to secure themselves as one of the new Big 12 members, I want to know from that game, do you think they can run the table and be in the college football playoff conversation? Or do you think that it's too early to tell if the Cougars are real or not?
Did you see Houston's coach after the game?
Herman, yes.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't know that it was going to happen. It was a surprise to me. He was like giving himself a pat on the back, saying I did a good job. And I personally think that they are misranked. I think that they should have been a little bit higher.
After the win or
Before the win.
Okay,
Before the win.
That's fair.
So I personally think that Houston is going to blow through this record.
Okay.
Blow through this season and do well. I don't think they're going to go to the National Football League, but we'll certainly see. I mean, the National Championship.
Yeah, playoffs. Too early to tell, or the real deal, Josh? You, Josh. No.
I think it's too early. I think it's too early to tell.
Okay.
I think because it was the first game, you know, and they're playing against OU, that hyped them up a little bit more to play against. I always think that that's their biggest accomplishment is they want to be the underdogs. They want to beat that team. So I think it's way too early to tell. I think they have a lot of football left to play. So
I agree.
We'll see. I thought it was a good win for them. Yeah, I'm not going to knock that win because that was a huge win, but we'll see.
I mean, if they can ride this win, because that's a huge win. If they can ride this into, because they're not playing
have
Big
momentum.
12 team. What's their conference?
Well, they're like American West. Raina, check it.
So they might be able to run their conference.
Well,
how do they rank? I don't
right
know.
now they're ranked number 6, which is the highest they've been ranked since 1990. But
the top 25, 6.
They're number 6. They jumped from like
6.
11 to 6. So yeah. So the thing with Houston is that they don't have a tough schedule, but they do play Navy, UCF, and right now Louisville is ranked 13th, and they play Louisville at the end of the season. So I think it's too early to tell. I think it was a great statement win. I think that they will be one of the teams that gets into the Big 12 once the Big 12 makes their expansion next season. But I do think it's too early to tell.
But if they can beat Oklahoma,
American Athletic
they can beat the rest.
Conference.
They can beat the rest of their conference for sure.
To your point, they beat the hardest person on their season. So
We shall see. Okay.
Gave him a big L.
Texas, hook 'em horns. They defeat the Irish 50-47. That was a huge game for Charlie Strong because not only is Charlie Strong perpetually in the hot seat, that win made the Texans become ranked for the first time since Charlie Strong has been the head coach at the University of Texas. So the Irish were ranked, I think, 12 going into the weekend.
Yeah.
So I want to know if that win for Texas. Oh, you okay?
Yeah. Sorry.
I want to know
Trying
if
to
that
say
win
that.
for Texas cements the Longhorns as the real deal, or is it too early to tell? Are the Longhorns going to keep winning? They have Oklahoma State on their schedule. They have Oklahoma on their schedule. They have K-State. They have Baylor, Texas Tech, and number 15 ranked TCU. Real deal or too early to tell? They're going to be losing some more games.
they're going to be given some L's in the next
think so,
coming
too.
some
I'm
coming
always
weeks.
going to say too
Yeah.
early.
Too early to tell.
Yeah, Oklahoma State. Yes, they lost, but they I feel like they're going to progress and be a better team. As far as Texas is concerned, I think they're going downhill.
Okay.
I think in that game in particular, Notre Dame got outcoached.
I do too.
But I think that it's always too early to tell in the first games. I mean, like I said before, underdogs, they have more power. That's their momentum. They want to beat the higher ranked teams. But definitely for that game, they got outcoached. I would be surprised if they continue this all season. But
too early to tell.
Too
We all
early to
agree.
tell.
Florida State is the last one. Real deal, too early to tell. I would like to go ahead and say that I think that they are the real deal. That was a game that I said that Ole Miss would win. I went to sleep on that game and woke up. I was highly disappointed. I think that Florida State's a real deal because even since Jameis Winston was there, they have been coming back from some impossible deficits. And I don't know if it's coaching or if it's a combination of players with Dalvin Cook and DeAndre Francois. They just have the personnel on and off the field to be a Goliath. But I think Florida State's the real deal. I think they're going to run the table. I think they're going to be one of the ACC teams in the college football playoff conversation come December.
I did not watch the game. I didn't see it. But what is Florida ranked?
Florida State.
Florida State.
They were ranked. Now they're 4. I don't know what they were
look
going
it
to the
up.
weekend.
Okay. Yeah. To your point, I mean, before the season started, they were talking about them. They're the real deal. I see them only going up from here.
I agree. Josh?
Yeah, me too. They're always in the conversation, Florida State, and that's
Right.
Yeah, I think they're going to be the real deal. I was interested to. I didn't really. I heard about Jameis Winston's halftime.
His halftime speech.
I was listening. Just
like, what
was
y'all
reading
doing?
on it.
What y'all doing out there?
I love that though. It's like you're coming back and you have like the guys that you played with. It's like I think that extra motivation is what they needed to like wake up. Like, wake up! What are you doing? You're playing like. What did he say? You're playing like we're dogs out here. You're playing like puppies.
Playing like puppies.
Playing like puppies. That would hype
Florida
me up
State
too.
is third.
The third now, number 3. Okay, guys, we have to wrap in a second, but real quick, we're going to go down NFL Week 1 predictions. Okay,
God,
just say win or lose. Just no scores, just win or lose. Okay, Green Bay at Jacksonville. I say Green Bay wins.
Green Bay wins.
Green Bay.
I'm gonna go with Green Bay as well, guys.
Okay. Buffalo at Baltimore. I'm going to say Buffalo.
Baltimore.
I'm actually gonna say Buffalo. I'm surprised you were gonna say Buffalo. I say Buffalo.
I like Tyrod Taylor.
Baltimore.
I just saw a commercial with him actually.
You say Baltimore rain. Okay. Bears at the Texans. I'm going to say Texans.
Texans.
What? Okay. Cleveland at Eagles. I'm gonna say Cleveland. Who's the quarterback? RG3.
Yeah,
Dang.
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Cleveland. Raina.
I'm gonna go Philly.
What?
I just like that.
Where's
That's an interest. I want to see that game actually.
Okay. Tampa
against
Bay at the Dirty Birds. I'm gonna say Atlanta.
I'm gonna say the Falcons.
Okay.
ATL.
ATL. Shawty, yeah. ATL. Shawty,
Shawty.
yeah.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Okay. Oh, y'all.
So the Tampa Bay.
Timber
Who they have?
what?
Charles Sims
Oh
around
no,
there.
they.
Because I have my fantasy. That's why.
Vikings?
That's the real reason.
Vikings at Titans. I'm gonna say Vikings.
Let me say
Who's their
Titans.
quarterback?
Sean Hill or Sam
no.
Bradford.
Bradford.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Wait, did Bradford hurt though?
No.
Tennessee still has Mariota.
Mariota.
I'm gonna go with my
Okay.
Polynesian.
You going Polynesian?
Yes.
I'm gonna go Tennessee.
Polynesian,
Delaney Walker.
even though
I need
you're
the
not
fantasy
Polynesian?
points.
I am.
No, he's not Polynesian. I know you
I
are.
got Mariota and Delaney Walker. So
Who do you got? Who
Yay.
you got? Minnesota or the Titans?
Titans.
Dang, I'm the only one? Dang, I'm looking like Dre. Man, okay.
you picking Minnesota?
I am.
Oh.
I'm taking a 36-year-old starting quarterback. Okay, Cincinnati at Jets.
Cincy
Is Fitzpatrick the quarterback?
of Jets?
Right?
I
Yes.
think so.
Okay, I'm saying Jets.
Hey, AJ Green, Andy Dalton,
Ooh,
Giovanni Bernard.
okay.
I gotta go with Cincy.
Okay.
Yeah, Cincy on that one.
Okay,
I know all three,
Raina.
actually.
Jets.
Okay, good. Oakland at New Orleans. I'm gonna say Oakland.
Oakland.
I gotta go with Oakland. That's my team.
Raiders.
Oakland.
Oakland. We all said Oakland.
Oakland.
Chargers at Kansas City. We're
Kansas
going
City.
Chargers.
Wait. What you have?
Chargers.
You have Chargers. Okay.
Chargers. Go Chargers.
Kansas
That's
City.
right. So Josh is saying Kansas City. I'll say Kansas City with you, Josh, and you say Chargers. That's your team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Miami at Seattle. I'm saying Seattle. Seahawks.
Seattle.
Seattle.
All Seattle.
Yep.
Okay. Lions at Andrew Luck.
Colts.
Colts.
Yeah.
Colts.
Okay. All
Who
Colts.
do the Lions even have? Who's their receiver?
We don't know anymore. Okay.
Ooh,
Real
this
fast.
one.
Giants at the Dak Riders. Dallas.
Oh God, you.
Come on, hurry up.
Oh,
Dak
shoot.
on
Dallas.
Daquan.
I'm saying, you saying Daquan?
Yeah, Daquan.
Okay, me too.
Hit
Dallas.
Daquan.
That'll be
You got
good to
Dallas?
watch.
Yeah, Dallas.
Okay, Josh,
Yeah,
who you got?
Dallas.
Okay, good. All okay. Patriots at Arizona.
Zona.
Me too.
Zona, they're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Okay. We're all agreeing. Okay, Steelers at Redskins. I'm saying Steelers.
Steelers.
Oh, Josh.
Steelers.
Okay. See, this is no fun. Rams
Go
at 49ers.
Rams.
Go Rams.
Justice will win this one. 49ers, Colin Kaepernick.
Okay.
No, Rams.
Okay, so you're the only one. Okay, guys. Yo, I wrote our predictions down. You heard us say them live on air. We will see. We're going to keep a record this
Excited.
season of NFL predictions. I'm Erica Renee Davis. You can follow me on Snapchat, Periscope, Twitter, and on Insta Story at Erica Renee D.
Hey guys, the score for the Panthers and the Denver Broncos is 17-14 with 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, so it's
Woo!
close.
Who's winning?
That would be the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your name? What's your name?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Charlie L. Myers.
Yo, shout out to AI Hall of Fame. That's my favorite player. Shout out to my dad for calling into the show. Appreciate you, Dad. Talk to you later. I'm Joshua Johnson. Find me on social media at JJ the Talented.
And I'm Raina Ale. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Raina_Ale.
As always, you can find all things Black Hollywood Live on BlackHollywoodLive.com. Follow us on Twitter at BHL Online. Follow us on Instagram at The Sports Weekly. Until next Thursday night, guys, make sure you tweet us. Make sure you find us on social media. We will argue and debate with you. Until next Thursday night at 7. See ya.
Yes.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm so excited.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.